Hi, welcome to English 1010 Online. This is your Composition 1 course. It's a completely online course, and this is a 10-week version of the course, which means that we're going to cover 15 weeks of material in 10 weeks. It's an accelerated pace. This short video is going to introduce you to the Blackboard website and show you how the course works. There's another short video that will introduce you to the Connect website where our textbook is. So let's get started. When you sign on to Blackboard, the first thing that you're going to see is the announcements page. This is where I will keep you posted for when essays are graded, when grades are updated for weekly assignments, and with any other changes to the class. You should make a habit of checking your announcements page multiple times a week. I recommend at least twice a week, but you should be signing on to the course and working on it at least that often. So when you're ready to begin the course, the Start Here button is where you found these videos. Over here, on the left-hand side of your screen, are the ways that you navigate through the course. If you click on the button that says Syllabus and Schedule, you'll see that there are two different folders. The first folder is the class syllabus, which you should read through carefully to make sure that you understand what's expected of you in the course. At the very, very bottom, there is a printable version of the syllabus that you can download if you'd like. There's also the assignment, schedule, and calendar. This lists all of our assignments for the course. Please note that our course runs from Tuesday to Tuesday. And right here, you can find a downloadable and printable version of this schedule. The other thing that you're going to want to pay attention to in the schedule is that this is really just a basic overview. Each week might have multiple modules, and I'm going to show you where those modules are in a second. But keep in mind that week 1, for instance, you'll do the introduction to the course module, and you'll also do the writing process module. When you get on to week 2, you can see that there's 2 modules due there as well. One of the things you're going to notice about this class is it's front-loaded. You're going to be doing a lot more reading and exercise work in the first 4 weeks of class than you are in the second 6 weeks of class. And that's because once we get down here to week 6, you're going to be working on the research paper. And I'm really giving you lots of time to work through that so that you're not focused on reading. You're focused on your research and writing that major essay that you have to do. Okay, so if you click on course content, this brings you to the heart of the class. We're using an ebook this semester, so I've put for you links directly to the McGraw-Hill library so that you can click straight into your book and not have to sign on to a second website. On the course content page, you're going to see a couple different things. First of all, you have the weekly assignments folder. These are the folders that tell you exactly what you need to do each and every week. There's a folder on the course content page that says Submit Assignments Here. This folder contains links to submit all your essays. When you click on it, you'll see that each essay has its very own little drop box that you can click View and Complete to submit your work. There's also a folder that says Help with Drafts. This is a writing class, so I know that sometimes people want me to look over drafts. I can't really look over complete drafts via email, but what I've done is I've given you some discussion boards where you can post portions of your drafts and I can give you feedback as you get yourself started. Remember, if you ever want complete feedback on a complete draft, you can always stop into my on-campus office hours or make a special appointment. In the assignment sheets folder, you'll see that all of the assignment sheets for all of the major research projects and all of the major essays are already there. Calendar sheets, if you have trouble keeping track of things and keeping up with coursework, I've provided you this link that will take you to a website for downloadable calendars that you can fill out and carry with you. In the information about grading folder, what you're going to see is the grading standards for essays. This is what I use to determine what's an A, B, C, D, or F. There's a file that tells you about the structure of an essay, which helps walk you through exactly what I expect when I'm grading. And then this one here is very important, TED paragraphs. TED is an acronym that stands for Topic, Sentence, Evidence, and Discussion. And it's really what I look for in your paragraphs. But all of that information is here for you. I really suggest that you print it up and look over it multiple times through the semester so that you know what I'm evaluating you for. And finally, the folder with course videos has a list of all of the different YouTube videos that appear throughout the course. In case you forget which module, which video was listed in, you can come straight down to this particular folder and find the video that you want to review. So let's take a look at really what's the main part of the course, which are these weekly assignment folders. When you click on them, the first thing you're going to see is instructions, and the instructions tell you first complete the readings. If you don't complete the readings first, you're not going to really be able to follow the rest of the information. Then you need to view any and all lectures that I've included in the course. I've tried to include lectures that are both printed material that you can read and some YouTube videos like this one that you can watch. And feel free to look over these as many times as you need to over the course of the semester. Remember, the course is front-loaded. You're getting a lot of information about what an essay is, what's required, and how to write one in those first few weeks. You're going to want to come back to those later to review. Then, after you've read and you've reviewed the lectures, you should complete the activities and homework. You're going to have activities and homework for every module folder. And then finally, if there's a weekly quiz, you should take the weekly quiz. Not all folders will have a quiz, so just pay attention to whether there's a link or not. So each folder is clearly labeled by the week that it's for, the number of the module, and the due date. So there's multiple ways for you to kind of keep track. When you click on a folder, they're all set up the same way. The first thing that you're going to see is an overview. This overview is really going to give you an idea of what you should be looking for as you go and work through the module. So it'll tell you what you should be reading. It gives you a link to the tutorial in case you don't remember how to work the ebook. It'll tell you to watch the videos or to look at the lectures. And then if you have any questions, to look for the discussion boards. So as we scroll through this, this is module number 2 for week 1, which is your first real course module. What you'll see is there are a couple different ways that I'm presenting the information. Some of them will be PowerPoints that you can open or print. Some of them will be these soft chalk lectures that allow you to click through and read. And all of the soft chalk lectures have a button that you can print all, so you can print them out and take notes if you'd like. There's also going to be quite a few of these videos, like the one that you're watching now. These are all available via YouTube, so if you want to watch them on your cell phone or your tablet, that's available as well. You can watch the videos as many times as you need. Most of them aren't any longer than about 8 minutes. At the bottom of each folder, you're going to see a couple things. You're going to see an assignments link. In this case, there's 2 short assignments, one where you have to send me something, and one that will link you back to the Connect website. If there's a quiz, you'll also see the quiz there. Now, the quiz will tell you very specifically this is not an open book quiz. You have 30 minutes to complete the quiz once you begin, and that you should be ready to complete it when you start. Most quizzes for this class are once you start them, you have to complete them. So be sure that you have a really reliable computer and internet access, and also be sure that you're either using Firefox or the Google Chrome internet browser. If you're using the Explorer internet browser, the one with the blue E, it could very well mess up your test. So what you'll do is you'll work your way through each of the modules. When you get to the bottom, you'll take the test. As long as you're scoring an 8, 9, or 10 on the test, it means that you've done okay with that week's or that module's information, and you can move on. If you don't score an 8, 9, or 10 on the quiz, you need to go back and review. So each week, as you can see, has multiple folders for the most part. There are a few weeks towards the end that have single folders, but make sure that you're paying attention to what's due by which date. I've given you the due dates for the major essays in a couple different places. As you can see here on these folders, the due dates for the essays are right there as well. So you'll work your way through the course week by week. Everything in the module is due by the date it says. So for the first week's modules, these are due by the 24th, which is the Monday after class starts. Remember, our class runs Tuesday to Tuesday. So you'll start on a Tuesday, you'll end Monday at midnight, and on the following Tuesday, you'll start the next week. You can't go back and do any work later. They don't accept late work, so make sure you're keeping up with the overall work. A couple other quick things I want to point out. You can always click over here on the discussion board link. Anytime you have a question in the course, you can post it, and I usually answer these within 24 hours on weekdays. So if you have a question about the readings, these are the materials in the course, post them here. If you have questions about the written assignments, you can post them there. And if you want to post, and this is completely optional, but if you want to post your intro or thesis statements or get feedback on your works cited pages, I've provided you discussion boards for you to do that. And the great thing about those is you can kind of see what other people are doing to see if you're on the right track as well. Finally, you want to take a look at quick links. Quick links is where you're going to get to my grades. When you click on my grades, you'll be able to see exactly where you're standing in the course. If a grade has a double dash line next to it, it means it has not been graded yet. If it has a 0, it means that I did not receive the assignment. You should check your grades at least once a week. If you ever see a problem with a grade, by all means, please email me and I'm happy to take a look and fix any problems that might arise. So that's it. That's how the course works. The biggest thing is just pay attention to the course content and kind of keep on track. If you ever have any questions at all about the course, you can email me or post them in the discussion boards. Looking forward to getting started.